One. Hi, everybody. We are going live here with our sponsor, ProCare Health. And today we are talking about a go-to shopping list for post-op bariatric surgery patients.
Yeah.
So, yes. And quite a few of you have already started introducing yourselves. So we're going to say hi here. It looks like to, I hope I'm saying it right, Adria. It's such a pretty name. James, Annie, we have Rosemary, Andrea. Okay. I don't know if I missed anybody, Brittany. And it looks like we're also going live on our ProCare Health page, Facebook page. So we'll kind of keep an eye out on that as well. I'm hoping it's going live.
We already have one question.
Yes. You want to read it?
Yeah, sorry. Somebody asked a question, and it said, so I am not sure how to answer this, so this is the question, Britta. It says, my first question is, a few years back, you made a small yellow or orange pill supplement, and I was told you were not getting good results, so you stopped making them. I have never had as good labs as I did when I was taking them. Will you ever be making those again? Do you know?
I think maybe that he's talking about our chewable multivitamin. I think it was made by a specific vendor, and somehow I don't think it was really the formulation issue. It was that we were switching vendors because they couldn't keep up with that, and we weren't able to take that specific recipe with us if I understood correctly. So that was one of my favorites. It tasted amazing. I love the new chewable flavors. We do have a new chewable flavor. The formulation actually should be the same though, like the actual ingredients, but the taste of the product was a little different. I hope that makes sense, James. I'm thinking that's maybe what you're talking about, but it was one of my favorites too. So anyways, Brittany's working away because she's helping us with making sure that everything is going smoothly on our our live version. And so we're going to kind of get started. We kind of did something fun. So I thought I wanted to make this a little bit more engaging than just talking about a list. And hi, Gina. Looks like Gina's joining us too.
Hi, everybody.
Open up Facebook here. We have people joining us from all over. Missouri. I'm from Missouri. Brittany's from Illinois.
I'm not far from Missouri, though.
Yes, Vermont, San Diego. And somebody said something about the trees turning. I got to show you guys this picture. I don't know if you can see it. I have an orange Jeep. On my way into work this morning, it was so beautiful. Well,
oh wow, that is really pretty. Yeah. See, the trees are kind of all the same color here still. They haven't really changed yet. Yeah.
It's like just this week has been just so pretty. Anyways, I had to share that because it is beautiful. Rosemary said, I heard there was a tornado your way. Hope not too bad. Andrea, yes, hope you didn't get in that. We had some major wind damage at our house. We had a huge tree blow over, and all of our patio furniture was everywhere. How about you, Brittany?
We had a little water in our basement, but nothing too bad. And to be honest with you, that's probably our fault. We probably should clean our gutters. So
that happens with the whole gutter thing.
Yeah, okay. It's just when it pours like that, but
okay. I started talking about a little bit about making this fun for today. So me and Brittany and I wasn't able to get together to film because we wanted to go into a grocery store and do some shopping. And so I took my daughter Madison and my niece Hannah, and we did a little shopping trip. So we got a little video from that just to make it kind of a little bit more exciting today. And so we'll be showing that as we kind of go through the phases. It's not highly edited. It's just basically our little shopping, and I have little tidbits from pieces of that. So I hope that'll be a little bit fun. And it looks like we also have Tina joining us from Caruthersville. Hi, Tina.
while we're doing this, let us know where you guys go shopping for your groceries. I go to Aldi. That's my favorite place. And when they don't have anything, sometimes I'll go to Schnucks. But from Maryland, Sharita, hi.
Hello. I bet it's beautiful there right now. I'm thinking the trees are really turning.
Yeah.
Brittany, I agree with you. I love Aldi's. There's not anything. There's not an Aldi's very close to my house though. It's probably about 45 minutes away.
Oh,
I have
gosh.
shop there. Yeah. So I usually do Walmart, or there's a couple local grocery stores right by me. The video that we took here in just a moment that I'll be sharing is from Walmart, because I figured that was probably the most relatable to most people.
Yeah.
But we'd love to hear Aldi's, Whole Foods, Walmart. I've never shopped at Whole Foods before, but I bet it's a cool place to shop.
They have a lot of unique things. Like if you're ever looking for an ingredient that's super hard to find, Whole Foods probably has it. But I don't think we have any Whole Foods near where I'm at. The closest one's probably on the other side of the river in Missouri somewhere. St. Louis, maybe.
Yeah. Well, you guys keep commenting, and local price chopper was another one James mentioned. We are going to kind of get started. So nutrition after bariatric surgery. How many of you guys are post-bariatric surgery, and how many of you are preparing
let
for
us
surgery?
know.
That'll help us too, because we're going to kind of talk about the stages kind of right after surgery, and then also going into maintenance. And we have somebody pre-surgery, post-surgery. What basically, having a shopping list or having a list to me is one of the most important things, because it helps you pre-plan for success. You know, if you get into the grocery store and then you're just like looking around, you don't have an idea of what you want, it can make it really hard. And also just even pre-planning your meals. Sometimes I keep a little piece of paper by my desk area, I guess you might call it, and just kind of keep an ongoing list going, like whenever I know I'm running out of something, so it makes it easy. And I actually put my list in order of how kind of the groceries in the store run, so that I can make it quick and fast, so that I have groups of things together. And that's kind of how we made the shopping list too. We have 2 shopping lists that we're going to be sharing with you guys. I'm going to share my screen just for a second. Brittany's going to share a link to show these. We actually have 2 shopping lists. If you guys go to, hopefully, can you see that, Brittany? Can you see me pulling up our ProCare page?
Yeah.
So if you guys go to our support group handout page, it's on our ProCare Health site under About Us, support group handouts. And then I'm going to say it's probably towards the bottom. Is that right, Brittany?
Yeah, it's going to be, so the most recent ones right now are going to be towards the bottom. Oh, you might have to hit refresh.
Okay, because she just added it. Oh, there we go.
I was going to say, I know it's on there.
Oh, that's awesome. So she just added it. So I'm going to open up that, and then I'm also going to open up the fresh post-op and the maintenance list. And so we're going to kind of start out with this fresh post-op shopping list. This is what it looks like. I'm going to make it small. See, woo, it's big. You guys can print this out. Okay. The maintenance shopping list, I'll show you that. That's also a couple pages, and you can just put little check marks by the things and write other stuff on there too as well. So let's go back to the fresh post-op, because we're going to start there. And what I want to say is, first we're going to talk about clear liquids. And before we start, Brittany, I'm going to kind of just share, I'm going to stop sharing this, and just share a little video of us going grocery shopping at Walmart to make it a little bit fun. Okay. So let me share my screen once more. Here we go. You guys are going to see me open up a folder that has our videos in it. The first one is clear liquid. So it's going to be me, my daughter, Madison, and my niece going grocery shopping. So here's us walking in. This is Walmart in the town that I live. So we're going to be talking about clear liquids.
All the tea. Brenda loves her tea.
I do, and I love coffee too.
Ebony wants to know, is there any sound in the video or no?
There is. Can you hear it?
No, I can't, actually. Yeah, I can't hear it, and I don't think they can either.
Okay, let me pause it. Let me go back.
This is the first time that we've played a video on here, so just bear with us,
is.
guys.
Oh, I bet I know. Show volume menu. I bet it's because I have my earpods on, and it's probably picking up. I wonder if I take my... I'm going to try taking my earphones off.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Robin. You guys, Robin was with us last week. She's 21 years post-op. Isn't that amazing? Oh, Brenda, you're muted. That is a long time. That's we talked about this last week. I think that's the longest that I've known anyone to be post-op. So that's amazing, Robin. If you have any tips and tricks you'd like to share with everybody, let us know. Especially when it comes to grocery shopping.
Okay, can you see me, hear me?
Yeah.
I'm almost wondering if it's because, let me change my mic. Instead of my Yeti mic, put it on my, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, guys, we're going to watch the clear liquid video again. Okay.
And then we do have a question after we're done with the video.
Sure, it lasts just a couple minutes. Hopefully, see if you guys can hear it now. Can you hear it?
No. Mm-mm.
I can just talk over it. So there's all different kinds of tea. Lemon, stress relief, bedtime, immunity, ginger teas, some natural green teas. There's Lipton, has all different kinds. You can use like a decaf tea, or you can use a natural herbal tea. I guess depends on your program and what they recommend, but
Yeah.
Caffeine is something that you don't have to have. And then coffees are the same way.
Yeah, and I mean, we kind of talked about this in a prior live. Sometimes facilities will tell you to just stay under a certain amount, and some will say not to have any at all. So just make sure you talk to your surgeon.
Yes. Here we're next to bras. I wish you guys could hear this. I apologize.
We can probably post them on Instagram under our stories.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. So here we're just talking about different kinds of broths. And so you guys can pick one that's just a regular broth, or you can get one that's unsalted. If you get one that's unsalted, it can be helpful because if you're sensitive to salt, it can basically be beneficial with that. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later. And here's some different kinds of versions with popsicles. We have all different kinds. The fruit ones, I would say, are more of a full liquid rather than a clear liquid. Here's some of your clear liquids, and I'm just kind of pointing out the different colors. The sugar-free is a great option. Those are all sugar-free. And then down here below is some Twin Pops, which those do have sugar in them. So I'd kind of stay away from those. I'd kind of stick to the clear liquids. And then I'm kind of focusing here on the original Fudge Pop, no sugar added. Those might be more of a full liquid that we're going to be talking about next. So kind of just exit out of there. Stop sharing my screen.
So we have a couple questions. During pre-op, what should I eat? So, pre-op,
Do you want me to help answer that, Brittany?
yeah, I would say it's probably depending on your facility and your doctor, because I think some facilities do have them do some sort of a pre-op diet, right? I'll go ahead and let you answer that, because you guys, Brenda used to be a coordinator for a bariatric program, so she knows all kinds of stuff.
And every program is different. So what I would say is be prepared to probably do some type of, probably a full liquid diet. Maybe it could be a clear liquid diet the day before. I know our program, we did full liquids for 2 weeks, clear liquids the day before surgery. It looks like we have, our bariatric surgeons would sometimes allow certain meals. They started that towards the end of my career, where they would allow, they called it lean and green meals, which was chicken breast and green vegetables. But every program is different. So so Brittany, what you were saying is absolutely correct. Sometimes they'll have, some patients may have to do it for weeks, some patients 2 weeks. We had some patients, if their body mass index was really high and they had a really high risk of having a fatty liver, some of them would even do longer than that and more prolonged. So it kind of just depended on their medical history, or maybe some programs don't require weight loss before surgery and some do. So let's see, what kind of comments we got, Brittany?
So I'll go in order so I don't miss anybody, but Robin just said that there was no pre-diet for her. She had the DS 21 years ago. She said that for her there was no one. Scotty said that they didn't have a diet required before hers either. Rosemary said, would love to talk on water enhancers like Crystal Light. I get mixed reviews on yes or no. So should they use those? And Rosemary, let us know. I forget if you said you were pre or post-op, so that'll probably... Oh, she's 6 months post-op. Okay. So I don't know, Brenda, what do you think? I personally would just be careful about which ones you're using. I think Crystal Light is one of the ones that's no sugar, but you even have to be a little bit careful about artificial sugars too. Just be careful about what you're picking out. I would also say that if you're post-op, there's other things that you can put in your water, like protein to help with that. So ProCare Health is our sponsor today, by the way, and they have it's a protein supplement, and it's called Liquicell, and a lot of people mix that in their water, so it helps them kind of kill two birds with one stone, I guess. It helps with their liquids, and it also helps with that protein intake. But what do you think, Brenda?
I think, as far as if it helps you drink the water, my own personal thing is if you want to add something that, like Crystal Light or whatever it might be that has 0 calories. There's so many different, they call them Milos, those little squeeze things, or Kool-Aids that you can squeeze that have 0 calories. Sometimes those just help give you a little flavoring if you have a hard time. You can also do fruit enhanced flavors, but you would want to remove the fruit if you're on clear liquids. For example, you can take like cucumbers or strawberries or apples or blueberries or something like that, and like let it sit in the refrigerator, water and let it overnight, and then you'd remove the fruit and then you could drink that. That's kind of a little bit healthier version, maybe, like if you're not wanting the artificial flavors and sweeteners and things like that. But as far as calories wise, there shouldn't be any problem with calories.
Right. And if you're not sure if something is good or not, as far as added sugars or sweeteners or anything like that, it's always a good idea to talk to, ask a dietitian. Most of your programs should have one on staff.
Yeah. It looks like there's all kinds of...
Scotty said that she uses Mio. I've heard of that too. There's this brand, it's called Hint, and it has just a hint of fruit in water, and it's all natural. no artificial sweeteners or anything, and that's pretty good. My program didn't require. Wow, we have a lot of comments. I had to do the Robard diet, is what Ebony said. And James said it was 2 weeks clear liquid for him. And Rosemary said, looks like I may be the baby here for me. They asked to look into a diet similar to what I would go towards. Cut down OFC, remove restricted items now, and 1 day of clear liquids, 6 months post-op. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hi, Rhonda.
So, and it looks like Robin's commenting on our Facebook page, and thank you, Robin, for, she said it can be hard to drink water. She loves Crystal Light. I know a lot of people love Crystal Light. Thank you also for letting us know how you're doing with your ProCare Health vitamins. That's good to know, too. Sounds like you're doing good. Adria says delicious. Gina says, I also like being classy with cucumber, orange slices, and water. It kind of just makes it fun, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It makes it look pretty, and it tastes good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so on clear liquids, guys, I'm going to kind of share my screen just a second here and go to our little handout that we have for you guys. Can you see it? It should say post-op shopping list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you're on clear liquids, clear liquids just are defined as anything that's liquid at room temperature that you can see through. So that includes like water or ice chips, sugar-free popsicles, sugar-free Jell-O, sugar-free sports drinks, low sodium broths, and again, you know, depending on if you're sensitive to sodium. I mentioned during the video a while ago, we actually had a couple patients that were sensitive, and they were drinking a lot of broth because that's, I mean, they just, I guess, one of the easiest things to do when you're on clear liquids, and actually had a lot of water weight gain. So depending on if your program requires you to have weight loss too before surgery, that can kind of be in, because I know our surgeons would weigh people before they went into surgery to see if they were sticking to the pre-op diet. So just be aware that if you drink, you need some salt in your diet, but if you're sensitive to it, then I would say low sodium would be better. And then low sugar fruit juice diluted with water. And this one I'm kind of like a little bit on the edge with. I think you have to just be careful. I would say make sure you do it at least half and half, because you don't want that real sugary things, and you would probably want to limit. Here on our slide here we have do not drink more than 2 cups daily, because just it can add a lot of extra calories, but you're not doing much else. And decaf coffee or tea, coconut water. We talked about avoiding sugary drinks. Some programs also say no caffeine, depends on your program. Alcohol, we had people asking us, I know in our program, is alcohol's clear, you can see through it, can I drink alcohol? And I would say for the most part to avoid that, because your overall goal is losing weight. And shrinking your liver, and carbonated drinks obviously there too, just to get preparation for your weight loss surgery, because after surgery those can make your stomach a little uncomfortable. But the reason for the clear liquid diet before surgery, so we were talking about that, is to help decrease or shrink the liver, which sits right on top of the stomach. And the surgeon actually has, when he goes in, he actually goes under the liver, kind of our surgeons would elevate it up with some sutures, like kind of raising it. I don't even know if you guys can see me on the slide, probably not. And then go in. So if your liver is fatty, if it's swollen, if it's inflamed, it can make it very difficult to access the stomach. So doing a very good clear liquid diet can really help with making clear and full liquid diet can help with avoiding problems during surgery. Were you going to say something, Brittany?
I was just going to say that Sharita said that she had to do 2 weeks of clear liquids to shrink the liver, and that's why. And that's actually really common. But yeah, that's why. Brenda just explained why.
Yeah. And then post-surgery, just because your stomach's healing. So when you think about any other surgery that you have, you want to try to keep inflammation down on that area. And you want to have things that are easy to digest and for your stomach to easily heal more easily. And so that's kind of post-surgery. You know, you want to take it easy so that you don't tear or rip anything inside. There's stitches or staples in there, and so, you know, your risk of hurting something can be increased if you eat something that's not in the phases that are recommended for surgery. So anyways, I guess we'll go on to the next part, which is full
any more
liquids.
questions, guys?
Yeah. Let's go into full liquids. I'll kind of I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show the next little video. I'll probably have to talk through it. I hate that you guys can't hear it. I apologize. Let's go here to full liquids. So, full liquids. I told you this is... So next we're going into puddings. There's all different kinds of puddings. We have sugar-free puddings are probably going to be a little better than just regular puddings if you're looking to avoid the extra sugar. There's chocolate fudge, there's vanilla, there's all different other kind of flavors too. And you know, you can find them, and you can find all of these ideas in the Jell-O aisle, but you can also find them already made, pre-made. So whatever's easier. I just couldn't find the pre-made ones in the store for whatever reason. And then protein powders and pre-made protein powders. So here you have ones that are already mixed up. So I'm kind of pointing those. Premier Protein. We have some, it looks like the Walmart brand. There's all different kinds already pre-made. Those are really easy and convenient. 30 grams of, I'm saying here, 30 grams of protein on 25 at least to 30 grams of protein is great for a serving. You know, you kind of want to look at the label, and you also want to look at the back to see how many grams of protein, how many grams of sugar, how many grams of carbohydrates. Sugars and carbohydrates is important. And your serving sizes, and whether you mix them with milk or whether you mix them with water. Because sometimes people don't do well with milk post-surgery just because it may upset their stomach, or they may have a little lactose intolerance. Sorry, my lips aren't matching up with what I'm saying here, guys.
That's okay. For anybody, since we do have some pre-op people, and
I'll pause it for a second.
Since I just wanted to say this real quick, since we were talking about protein, since we have some pre-op people and some post-op people that are under a year, if you're struggling with protein and even just finding a protein powder and wondering maybe how good the quality is, we actually did a live with Katie Chapman, who's a dietitian, and she talks about protein, the importance of it, what to look for in a protein powder, and all that. So I will go ahead and put that link for anyone who's interested. It was a live event that we did a few months ago, but you can watch the replay. So. And
Brittany, also another thing we may want to add there is ProCare Health. If you have a hard time finding a protein that you like at Walmart or wherever you shop, then another option is to order online. And ProCare Health, our sponsor, does have some protein products. I absolutely love them. They have, I think, 4 different flavors. They're called K-Pro, but I believe there might be some surprises coming out in the future too as well. So kind of watch out for ProCare. There may be some additional protein ideas coming also as well. And while she's posting on, and go ahead and I'll talk through this since you guys can't hear the video. And what I'm talking about is yogurt. So I'm in the yogurt section at Walmart. There's non-fat yogurts. There's Greek yogurt is probably the highest in... They're probably the highest. I'm going to pause it for a second. They're probably the highest in protein. So this one here, this Light and Fit, has 12 grams of protein. If you buy a regular yogurt, you kind of got to watch the sugars or the carbohydrates in those. But these have... This Dannon one here has 12 grams. Usually that's about average for Greek yogurt. You also, if you're on full liquids, you also have to watch to see if it has added fruit. Some programs don't want you to do that with your full liquid diet. Later on, in additional phases like soft foods, you could have added fruit. fruit flavor is different than actually adding fruit. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of showing different pictures. Some of my favorites is the one I'm going to be pointing. This brand, I don't know if it's Kobani, if that's how you say it, but they have all different kinds. Chobani. Thank you, Brittany. So what I'm saying here, that you can mix it with cottage cheese. If that's not really, actually full liquid is, I think cottage cheese is considered a full liquid. And so we're also going to be talking about solid foods next. And also I have this Z Pro Shakes for ProCare. I'm going to exit out of here. Stop sharing. And I'm going to go to, I'm going to actually go to our little handout, our shopping list, Brittany, with the fresh post-ops. So we talked about clear liquids. We just talked about full liquids and some pureed foods. So with that, we're talking your prior foods that were listed previously. Protein supplements, goal of 60 to 90 grams per day. Low-fat, sugar yogurts, blended creamy soups, sugar-free pudding, low-sodium soups. Light Greek yogurt and thinned unsweetened oatmeal is another option. Avoiding any soups with large chunks in them, raw vegetables that are hard to eat, nuts, butter, ice cream, desserts, and sugary foods, rice or white pasta, and white bread. So any questions regarding that? How are we doing with comments and questions?
James said I lost more weight the more protein intake that he ate, which would make more sense because the more muscle that you have, the more calories that your body burns. So yeah, that's why building muscle is so important, guys, and that's why protein is so important. It all plays a part. Trust me.
Well, and Robin on our Facebook page had a comment too. I use my HSA benefits to purchase protein and vitamins with doctor's note. So that's something to consider if you have a health spending account, through your work. You can keep receipts, and of course you probably do have to have a prescription for that, but that's something, a way to use it as a deduction and be tax-free, save a little money there.
Yeah. That's a nice bariatric hack.
Yeah. And that is actually something, I'm glad she brought that up, because that's something that I think a lot of people ask about, because they always ask if vitamins are included with insurance, or if supplements and things like that. But if you keep your receipts and if you have a doctor's order, should be covered by your health spending plan. So not necessarily by insurance, but by your health spending plan. James says in Vermont you can't use benefits to buy protein supplements. Yeah. I'm just kind of reading comments. You have anything else, Brittany? I can keep going if you...
Nope, not really.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a pretty easy day. We're just going over shopping lists.
No. I'm trying to make it a little bit more exciting here. The next thing here we have, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move into solid foods. Actually, I think I put solid on that slide, but soft foods is the next one actually, instead of solid, because we go from soft and then into solid. So let's watch the little video, and then we will talk about that a little bit. So soft foods here, and I'm by the cottage cheese. So cottage cheese, we have the tubs. They can be in 1% or 4%. The 1% has less fat. I'm kind of showing the difference where it shows it at the top. And then also, you can buy them in smaller containers or in the larger containers. I like buying the larger just because I eat a lot. And then eat a lot of cottage cheese. That was one of my very favorite things. And then
I still love cottage cheese.
Do you?
It's like one of my favorites, yeah. Either you love it or you hate it, though.
And I'm going to go back here for just a second with the eggs. So what I wanted to say with eggs is that with eggs, I'm going to count. So soft foods would be like your scrambled eggs. Solid foods, as you move into that, would be hard-boiled eggs. So you can use those for both phases. They're high in protein. Some people tolerate them really well after bariatric surgery. Some people don't do so well with them. So if it's something that you don't do well with, doesn't mean that it's something that would be like a forever thing. It just means that you would probably want to lay off of it for just a little while and then redo it. You know what? Is it even showing my video, Brittany?
Oh, no, it's not, actually.
Oh, it's not? Okay. Let me do this.
Sorry, I was answering Rosemary's question. But yeah, that link that I sent you, it's called ProCell. It's a whey protein and it's unflavored. You could just try it and see.
Yeah.
See if that would work for you. I mean, 25 single serving packets, it's $10. You're welcome.
Okay, sorry about this, guys. I thought I had the video pulled up. We'll just go into it.
I would say it's soft foods, right?
Soft foods, and we can kind of skip into where I was. We'll
Cottage
go by.
cheese.
We just talked about the cottage cheese. Here I
Eggs,
was
here
talking
we
about
go.
the eggs. Soft foods would be scrambled. Your hard-boiled would be more solid.
But those are both excellent sources of protein, too. Fish.
Next, we're in the fish section. So we're talking about soft foods. Some programs may list this as a soft food. Some programs may list it as a solid food. There's all different kinds of fish. I would say if you're doing it as a soft food, you're going to want to make it very, you're going to want to cook it, make sure it's very soft, basically. So again, cod, whiting, swai, halibut up there at the top. And then over here you want to avoid these things like crispy battered fillets, your fried things. And then the next thing, again, this is another thing that you'd have to ask your program. I'm calling this a soft food. Tuna in the cans or in these little pouch bags. And also chicken. Those come that way too. Ham also sometimes you can find in those. I would say you'd probably want to buy it in the water-based as opposed to a oil-based.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
I'm going to exit that. Okay. See if we have any comments. Okay, Marcia says, never tasted cottage cheese. Oh my goodness. I can't hardly believe that. It's one of my favorite things. Brittany, you said you like cottage cheese too?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Has anyone ever tried cottage cheese and pineapple? It's actually really good. It sounds kind of weird, but I don't know if that's a Midwest thing. Cottage cheese and peaches. Ooh.
I've had that before. That's good.
That sounds good too, yeah. I heard cottage cheese and ricotta cheese like mixed together, and fruit is really good too. It's like kind of something you can put on a charcuterie board. Cottage cheese with chives. Can't get past the texture with cottage cheese. Yeah. That I kind of understand.
Yeah. They do have small curd and large curd cottage cheese. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but like the smaller curd is a lot smaller, and depending on if you're a texture person, it might be easier than the large curd. Just a thought. You tried that before. Tomatoes and pepper. Ooh, yeah. Rosemary said, I think in general curd just turns me off. Okay, well, we've kind of talked about that. Let me bring up the shopping list for that section and share my screen. So here, when we were talking about, make sure it's pulled up. Let me know, Brittany, if you see it.
The list?
Soft foods. Yes.
Yeah, it's up.
Okay, perfect. So you want to avoid anything with skin and seeds, fruits, vegetables, just because those can be a little harder to digest. You can use any of the foods prior. Here we have things like tilapia, cod, haddock. We talked about those. Soft vegetables like carrots or green beans, scrambled eggs, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes. Some programs may or may not want you to have that many carbs. My own feeling is post-bariatric surgery, you're only really going to be taking a couple bites of anything, just because, I mean, like literally probably 500 calories or less the first couple of weeks to month. So it's going to be such minute amounts anyways. Vegetables and blended soups, pureed beef, chicken, turkey, canned chicken or tuna, and hot thinned oatmeal and pureed fruits and vegetables. So I hated to just read that list, but kind of helps you. So your program likely will be giving you some kind of guidance regarding these, but this is just a great way to kind of start.
I was going to say, for anyone that might be wondering why we said no skins and seeds of fruits and vegetables, it's because they can be a little bit more fibrous. So it can cause some tummy problems and diarrhea. So we would really not like you guys to experience that after surgery. So just try and stay away from that for a little bit. How long would you say, Brenda?
I guess it depends. Like, I know patients that we would have them on clear liquids the first day after surgery, then moving into full liquids that first week. I think after they saw the surgeon, they'd be bumped up to soft foods, or full liquids to soft foods, and then their diet would migrate about 4 or 5 weeks into So the first week, I think it was clear, the first day or two, it was clear liquids, and then they'd be bumped up to full liquids. Full liquids for them would almost be up to a month, and then they'd be bumped up to soft foods around 4 weeks, and then after soft foods, they'd be on a maintenance diet around 6 to 8 weeks. Tell us if that's about what your program did, if any of you know. Every program's a little different, but we did give our patients a list of things as well. So hopefully they are doing that. A lot of times they'll give you like an educational brochure or booklet or handout. Looks like James says, following this plan in the beginning and still have had no dumping and vomiting for 7 years.
That's great.
Yeah. That is wonderful. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and move on to, we are on solid foods now. So let's watch a little video here. I hope it's not too distracting with the sound.
I'm paying attention now. I'll let you know if it doesn't play.
Okay. Hopefully, is it sharing?
It's up. Yep.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about lean meats. So I don't know what this little chicken breast is doing down there on the floor by itself. I didn't notice that until my later taping, but you can buy frozen. That's one of my favorite things to do to food prep for the week. Cook them. You can use a Ziploc bag to put them in after you've cooked them, or you can freezer pack them. I have a freezer packer. I'm kind of trying to show on this picture different sizes of the chicken breast, smaller ones versus larger ones. And here, soft fruits, as we're kind of talking about this, I love buying the already prepped stuff, but you can, buy stuff that's not prepped. The only thing is a lot of those do have some with the skins on them, like the grapes and the apples. So you just kind of got to be a little careful on how your body will do with those if they're not peeled. And then as I'm kind of walking, I'm going to kind of flip the camera over here to more fruits, which is like apples and oranges. And then we have some over here on the side, all different varieties of apples. So if you're an apple person, there's also a lot of other things like peaches and pears. You can also dive into those, especially this time of year. And then the deli meat. We've talked about deli meats in our previous lives. They're so amazing. Once you try deli meats as opposed to just buying lunch meat over the, like in the little packages.
Like that prepackaged stuff, yeah.
Yes. So much better. You can get however many pounds. And then cooked vegetables, that's going to give you a little bit more of the softness. So whether you do cooked vegetables or the frozen vegetables, just cooking them for a prolonged period of time will make them a little bit easier to digest. And then I'm kind of going over here to the rices, and I'm just going to say some programs don't want you to have rice right away. I'll talk about that here in a moment. But whole grains is a great way to keep your blood sugars more stabilized over a longer period of time. So Sorry about the bouncing around there a little bit. I'm kind of showing the different kinds of rices, white rice versus brown rice, and we'll talk about that in a moment. And then beans are another great way to kind of keep your blood sugar stabilized and add a lot of fiber into your diet. A lot of people are concerned about fiber. So we're talking about solid foods here going into maintenance. And there's Madison and Hannah, and we're checking out. So basically just enjoying each phase. I'm going to kind of pull up I'm going to exit out of that, and I'm going to pull up our shopping list again. So I'm going to kind of narrow out to that. And, whoops. I have on our PostOp shopping list here solid foods. Can you see that, Brittany?
Yes. Yep.
Sorry about jumping around there a little bit.
No, that's okay.
So including, and we talked about a lot of these lean meats, hard-boiled eggs, low-fat deli meats, low-fat cheeses. That was one of my biggest things. I loved cheeses post-surgery, beans, cooked vegetables, soft fruit without skins, starches and whole grain, pastas, rice. Again, I want to just say that rice can swell in your stomach, and so early on that may be something you want to avoid. Maybe later on, maybe after, a year or whatever your program recommends, then moving on to rice, and then fats in small quantities, and then avoiding things like all of these things that I'm just going to list. I'm not going to just read them off here, but there are things to kind of avoid. And I'm going to stop. Well, actually, let me pop over to our maintenance shopping list. So this is another list, guys, that is a little bit more, it's a lot bigger, okay?
Yeah.
And we have snacks and meat and poultry, fish, dairy, grains, some spices, vegetable oils, vegetables, fruit. And then we have another page, I hope I'm not going too fast, is toppings and condiments miscellaneous. So this you could actually bring along. It's a take-along shopping list. You can actually screenshot this if you'd like, for your phone, and just bring it along and help you with making good choices. It actually is listed on our support group page. Brittany was sharing the links before.
I just posted the link to this one too in the chat box just now.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So if you're on Facebook, we'll get those on there right after the live. I don't know if Brittany has her computer open to her Facebook page, but
I can do
we can post those there at some point too. So this would just be something easy you could keep open and kind of be able to help you make really good choices, pop some ideas, because sometimes I like having a shopping list just to give me ideas of what to, shop for, that type of thing. So, okay. Let's see. James says, yearly checkups. Doctors kept asking about eating fast foods. I said I had the surgery not to do that. I wouldn't want to screw up the surgery. Who would eat fast foods?
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
That's a great mindset to have, too. What was I going to say? I was going to say something before all that. Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. Sorry, guys. I'm a little out of it today. I didn't sleep very good. But anyways, so I was going to ask you, when you say maintenance, and you might have said this already, but when you say maintenance, are you meaning like a year post-op, 6 months post-op? Like, what would you say if you had to give a number?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say for most people, 6 to 8 weeks post-op. It depends on your program. Every program is different on when they say that you can go into maintenance. But I would say normally probably 6 to 8 weeks post-surgery. Okay. And then that first year there might be just things that are a little harder to I'm copying somebody asked about Gina asked about our Facebook page.
Oh, I posted it.
Oh,
yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I posted both of them.
Okay.
It's in the comments on Facebook, but yes.
Oh, she wanted the ProCare Facebook page, I think.
Oh, sorry. I misunderstood.
Usually we're doing the same thing at the same time.
I know.
Why I just wanted to make sure I wasn't double posting.
Rosemary had a question too. Any crunchy snacks you can recommend, that would be good.
Okay, so I mean,
Gotta be
protein
careful.
nutrition bars are good. I'd say like crunchy. Whenever I think of crunchy, I think of veggies. So things like carrot sticks or celery sticks. It kind of depends on where you are. As far as post-op, that would be more of a maintenance. Those are kind of more maintenance things when you get into the crunchy. Gina says pork rinds. Yeah.
Oh, I'm muted. My bad. Pork rinds, and we were talking about Whole Foods earlier. If you have a Whole Foods near you, there's usually a whole wheat section of snacks that are a little bit healthier. And actually, there's these ones. They're called avocado crisps, I think. So it's made of like baked avocado. And it's really good if you're craving something that's a little salty and savory, but it's not terrible for you. Like a bag of Lay's or something like that. It's a better alternative. So there are healthier alternatives out there. You just kind of have to find them and make sure you look at the nutrition label.
And I also want to add, we did a Healthy Snacks on the Go event. So I'm posting the link. And actually on our support group page, our handout page, we actually have a guide for healthy fall snacks. I'm going to copy that. And then also we have one on healthy food swaps. So I think both of those would be great regarding this conversation. I'll post both of those, Brittany.
And if you haven't checked out our Crowdcast channel, if you're just on Facebook right now, I'll post our Crowdcast channel on Facebook because there's a whole bunch of events that we've done in the past, guys, that are super helpful. Like we just did one with Maddie Spar, actually, and she shared some favorite fall recipes of hers. So I'll post that too.
Thanks, Brittany. I'm going to post these on Facebook too because I'm right here on it. So you guys let us know what kind of, tell us about your shopping experience. How do you prepare for going shopping? And any kind of special little things that you do to try to make that process easier and as convenient and easy as possible.
And Rosemary said, I know we shouldn't be snacking, just happens, so appreciate it. Hey, we understand, right, Brenda? Things happen.
Yeah. And I found, I will say, right after bariatric surgery, you're only able to eat usually about a tablespoon or two at a time. So what happened for me, and I didn't understand this until after I had surgery, but what happened for me is I would be hungry. Like I would eat a tablespoon or two and I would be so full and I would feel really content and I'd be like, oh wow, like that didn't take nothing to make me full. And then like an hour or two later I was hungry again and I'm like, what the heck? But what I understood is really the amounts that I was eating was so small. So you may graze a little bit right post bariatric surgery, like those first few weeks until you're able to eat quote meals. So just be aware, if you're early on, that's not unusual to do, is to kind of just eat really small meals all day long. Now that I had bariatric surgery, I don't think I said that earlier, but I had it in 2013, and now I kind of do more meals, I would say. I do eat snacks in between though, because sometimes I just get really hungry.
Right.
And sometimes it's just a few bites of almonds or a tablespoon of peanut butter or mozzarella stick or I don't know, I'm thinking about some of my other snacks that I like. An apple. I don't know. Those are some of my stuff. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's a difference between snacking and grazing, and as long as you have healthy meals planned throughout the day, then you should be in the right direction. It's just kind of planning. We've talked about this before. I feel like if you plan your meals for the day, then you're less likely to make poor snacking decisions, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's all about planning. So if you have something, like if you work outside the home and you have something, little snacks that you bring along, or if you're traveling with your children, going to sporting events, having something already available is super helpful, because it just helps keep you on track. And it looks like Andrea said, so back to the right after surgery, how long will the clear liquid diet last? I would say it just depends on your program and your surgeon. I would say anywhere from a day or two up to a week would be pretty normal, depending on your program. And I'm looking at our time too, Brittany. We're right at 55 minutes. So we're going to be, if anybody has any questions, we'll take a couple more, and then we're going to be making sure. I just made fresh chickpea seasoned and air fried.
Oh, those are good too. Actually, I think we talked about that in our snacks to go, didn't we?
Yes. That sounds so good. That's making me hungry for them.
I know. And it looks like we might be having some issues with our Facebook Live. It just, at least on my phone, it did. So I apologize, guys.
I still got it. I think I still got it.
Okay, good.
At least it looks like it's still connection. So, anyways, well, I guess we're going to be closing out. We want to thank all
everybody
of you for being here, and appreciate each of you and what you added to the conversation. Thank you.
Next week, we're going to be talking about gut health with Katie Chapman, who's our dietitian. So if you're interested in that, make sure you tune in next week at the same time.
I also want to just say, too, for those of you who want to continue, I'm going to show them real quick here. I'm going to post a link. You guys are welcome to follow us on Crowdcast. I'll put that on our Facebook page, too. If you follow us, you get notifications of upcoming events as they happen or as they're happening. I'm going to share my screen just for a second, Brittany. I think I got a few seconds here left.
Oh, you're fine.
And I'm going to show them our Crowdcast channel. So if you go to the link that I just sent you, and it's Crowdcast, ProCare Health, WLS Support, and we have here, we're on air now, so it should be showing that, and there's a little button up here. Mine says edit. Yours should say follow. If you follow us, you'll get notification of upcoming lives. So as Brittany mentioned, we have Gut Health with featured speaker Katie Chapman, November 3rd at 1 o'clock. We also have an interview with Jessica, Instagram and TikTok influencers, Leave Brittany Alone. And excited, she had not only had weight loss surgery, but she had plastic surgery, and we're following her story on that. And we're going to be interviewing her live. We have a skinny latte swap coming up. We also have our normal bariatric support groups, which once you're signed up for one of those, you get access to all of those, cutting your grocery bill. And then in February, we have a fun giveaway on self-care, which we'll be talking much, much more about in the future. Now, you guys, our past events, we probably have over 50 past events in here on archive. We kind of mentioned several of them. Feel free to check in and get access to any of those recorded events as well. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I also want to say, I'm going to put on here a call to action button that has our ProCare, our sponsor, ProCare Health. They are, put that on here. They are wonderful. We love them, and thank them for allowing us to be with you here today. So I think that's it.
Alrighty.
Are we ready?
Yep.
Well,
Okay.
Thank everybody, and you guys take care. Have a great, wonderful
Thanks for
day.
coming, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.